Hello everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. It has been a while since I last posted a video, and to anybody that's following me, I do apologize for that. I do work a full-time job. I pick up a lot of overtime. I work 10-hour days, 12-hour days. I work on my days off, but I do like to make these YouTube videos. I do like to entertain people with my ideas, and I think I have what up to this point will be my best video so far. I really do think that you enjoy it, that you will enjoy it, maybe even recommend it to some people, but I guess we'll figure that out at the end. One thing that I do want to point out about this movie, about Black Panther, it follows a certain formula, and it's a very common formula, and it's fine. A lot of movies have used it. A lot of movies that I have liked have used it. If they do it the right way, it works. Okay? And what I'm going to call this is, I'm going to call this the Hamlet formula. Okay? Now, the story of Hamlet is just very, very basic. Okay? It's, a king who passes away. Son becomes the king. Let's get back to this. And then the son gets overthrown. He ends up being abolished, and later he returns and he reclaims his throne. Okay, now that story has been told over and over and over. We can basically just do a video on that, but right now we're talking about Black Panther and how deceiving this movie is to its audience. So much that nobody has even noticed, and it has such a huge fan base, such a huge cult following. Okay, so let's talk about some quick examples about the Hamlet formula. A great example is The Lion King. It is the same thing. And a lot of people are already calling this movie The Lion King. Now, again, I'm not saying that this movie has ripped off Hamlet or Lion King. It's just a very common story to tell. Newfound king loses his throne, has to regain it back. That's a very common tale. And it gets told across so many mediums of movies that you might not even notice it. So The Lion King is a great example. Another great example is Judge Dredd. It's the same basic thing. This is an officer of the law. He is very well feared and respected. He gets overthrown. He gets abolished to a wasteland. He acquires knowledge, strength. There's always something where the hero has to leave and they come back with new powers, newfound strength, knowledge of something that helps them regain their place, their throne, their authority. Okay, so some movies kind of do follow that formula, but they just don't have the potency of all the ingredients. Okay, so as I was doing some broad thinking, I don't want to say research because all this just came to me on my own. The Dark Knight Rises is a great example of the Hamlet formula. It's the same thing. It's this guy that oversees this land that he's protecting. He gets beaten. He gets defeated. He has to go away. He feels that he's meaningless, and then he has to return, and reclaim his stability in society, or whatever you want to call it. So it's the same thing as Black Panther, and that's not what I'm judging Black Panther for. That's not what I'm judging Black Panther for. I'm not judging it for it being like Hamlet. I'm not judging it for being like Lion King. Okay, so let me go in and just look over my notes real quick. All right, so I'm glad I looked over the notes because there is a huge spoiler warning, not just for Black Panther, but the overall Marvel Cinematic Universe. I will be talking about various Marvel movies. So if you have not seen what I think is 18 installments of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, if you have not seen Iron Man 1, 2, 3, Guardians of the Galaxy 1, 2, Captain America 1, 2, 3, Thor 1, 2, 3, Spider-Man Homecoming, Incredible Hulk, all that, you know what I'm talking about, Doctor Strange. If you haven't seen all of those, you might hit a spoiler warning. So just in case, if you haven't seen all those movies, the cinematic Marvel universe, you might hit some spoilers. So I'm warning you. You might want to get caught up on some stuff. Alrighty. And if you don't care about the cinematic universe, you still might find this interesting, but I would recommend it because to me, I think it is the greatest thing that's happening in movies right now. They haven't really done anything that I have fully disagreed with, that has made me want to jump off. But this, I'm a little disillusioned by Black Panther, and you'll find out why, but I still want to keep going with it. So anyways, so let's get to the nitty gritty of this video. Okay. Alrighty. And we're going to start talking about this movie. Now I'm going to show some photos, and you just follow me along. And if you disagree with anything I'm saying, just go ahead and let me know. Trust me, I can hear you. Alrighty? So, I'm going over my notes. Alrighty, so we have this movie, okay? And it is about a hero. And this hero, all of a sudden, he is bestowed upon this great, tremendous responsibility to be a respected ruler of a mysterious land and its people. Okay, now, this responsibility has been unexpectedly passed on to our hero due to the recent passing of his father, who obviously was the former king. Okay, now, in the wake of his father's passing, our hero discovers many, many secrets that his father has kept from him. And these secrets, they basically shake the foundation of our hero's entire upbringing. He questions everything that he's learned, everything that he was told, taught, his loyalty to his throne, to his kingdom, to his father. Just these dark secrets about how his father misled him. Alrighty. Now, one of these major secrets that our hero discovers is that there is a blood-born relative that his father kept hidden from not only our hero, but everybody else in this majestic land that now our hero has to look over. The relative seeks revenge for being forgotten. Even though our hero has not been king very long, the lost relative challenges our hero. Our hero loses the fight and his special powers. And there we have a new ruler in this lost relative. Our villain becomes the new ruler. The hero has a sibling who is very charming, comical, witty. They are not very serious for the most part. Although when it does come down to it, they do stand up and fight for what they believe in. In his quest, our hero, in his quest for redemption, our hero ends up in a place where there is plenty of gambling going on. And there he runs into an acquaintance who he normally disagrees with. The acquaintance and our hero, they have to put their views and values aside for a greater good and continue on a journey together. There is also a fearsome female warrior in the group. She has great fighting skills. The more our hero witnesses what a great warrior she is, he develops stronger feelings for her. So far, I would think that you agree with me to the plot of the movie that we're talking about. Alrighty, so then we have a character who is a friend to our hero and holds a high position as a guard of the land. His feelings are compromised and he sides with the enemy. Alrighty? And it all this leads to this huge, ferocious battle to help our hero just basically reclaim his throne. Now, our hero, he is not able to succeed. And he realizes that his kingdom actually lies in the heart of his people. So he realizes that he cannot save the land, but he can save its people. So he summons this giant beast who destroys the land. And the king and his people find refuge on an interstellar ship. Okay, so I hear a lot of you telling me that I'm wrong. Okay. And I am very incorrect in my synopsis of this movie that I was talking to you about. And its ending. If you assume that I'm talking about Black Panther. But if you realize that I've been talking about Thor Ragnarok, then you'll notice that the ending that I mentioned is correct. But, most importantly, you'll notice that these two movies have the exact same plot. You have your hero, who recently became a king due to the death of his father. His rule is questioned by a blood relative. He has a sibling who's very comical, not too serious, only when it calls for it. They go to a place where there's types of competitions and gambling for money. He runs into this acquaintance that he normally doesn't see eye to eye with. There we have Thor in the stadium where people are gambling for competition and monetary gain. The acquaintance he runs into is Bruce Banner, who he normally doesn't see eye to eye with, and he definitely does not see eye to eye with Bruce Banner's alter ego, the Incredible Hulk. We have the friend, who is a high-ranking guard, who is supposed to protect the land, and he ends up being betrayed. He ends up betraying our hero and the good people of Wakanda and Asgard, sides with the enemy. We have the love interest, and the one that is many people have agreed is now the love interest. Every time our hero sees her throw a punch or a kick in both movies, they develop more feelings for this individual. So like I mentioned, there's nothing wrong with having the same similar plot in movies. It's happened so many times before. I'm going to try to bring some other ones to your attention in the future. But I really feel that I needed to point this one out because this one is still hot. If I'm not mistaken, isn't it like Marvel's highest grossing film? $700 million? When it's just a carbon copy of their last film. These movies came out 3 months apart. It is the last two movies from the same film studio, Marvel Studios, and they have the same identical plot. And they've gotten away with it. And we let them. And to me, that's just atrocious. It really is. I would understand if maybe a few years had passed in between. But again, these are their last two movies, 3 films apart. And most importantly, they're within the same cinematic universe. So the same thing happened to two guys, probably within the same time frame, because doesn't Thor Ragnarok take place like at the same time Civil War does, and Black Panther just takes place after Civil War? So I mean, I'm coming up with things that just really aren't making sense now. Thor Ragnarok happens like a day before Black Panther, then like 2 days. So the same thing happened to the same two, to two different guys in two different realms, but in the same universe. Let me just read over some more notes and just make sure that I didn't forget anything here. So again, the Hamlet thing, it's been done over and over. So Thor did the Hamlet thing, and so did, Black Panther, but it's just a little bit too identical, where you have characters filling in the roles of other characters in the other movies and the other movie. So it's just a little too identical for comfort. Black Panther and Lion King are very similar, but I don't think as much as Thor Ragnarok to Black Panther. So I really don't want to end this video. I really feel like I stumbled onto something that nobody else has. But I guess it's got to end, and I got to thank you so much for watching and for staying tuned. I do want to know what you think in the comments, and I would like to know if there's anything such as any other similarities that I missed. Put that down in the comments, and of course, hit like and subscribe, and I'll bring you more videos that might entertain you. And once again, I appreciate you, and thank you so much. Bye. A lot has happened on my channel. I have picked up quite a few subscribers. I have 30 subscribers now. That doesn't seem like a lot, but I feel proud of myself that I was able to reach out to 30 different people, and that they were interested in me enough to follow me and listen to what I have to say and watch these videos that I make. I plan on making more things, so please stick around. And like I said, I think for the most part, a lot of you who watch this video will be impressed at the end, because I am going to point out something about the Black Panther movie that I haven't seen anybody else notice or anybody else point out. And I just wanted to put it out there as quickly as possible before anybody else did, especially these bigger channels. I would like for this video to get such a following that even those bigger channels end up, talking about my video. So again, we're going to talk about Black Panther before we get to that. And it's going to be about how it's basically a ripoff. Now, a lot of movies copy a lot of movies nowadays. That's common, and there's a right way to do it and there's a wrong way to do it. And to me, Black Panther has done it the worst. Okay, and I'm sure that most of you will agree with me. Before we get on to it, though, I do want to thank everybody that has posted any comment, watched any of my videos, of course my subscribers. I do want to do a shout out to my subscribers real quick. There's not that many that actually post their names, so even though I have 30 subscribers, I have about 10 of them whose YouTube names I can actually see. So let's just go through them real quick. I do want to give a shout out to, and these are in order of the way that they subscribe. So Luigi the Kid, Dale Norris, Colin Miller, Shane Sisk, what I think is 56 Loki, Unbelievable Montages, Dominique Garcia, Kathy Herring, the Towel Man, and my last subscriber that I'm able to see is Jeremy Gerbhardt. Thank you all and everyone else that has subscribed, and again, thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, please put it on your Facebook, put a link, send it to your friends, whatever it might be. Try not to spoil it. Now,